guys, it's Haley and I am back with another video. So I have been working on a whole bunch of really cool different types of embellishments and things over the past, I started prepping for it over the past couple weeks, and then the past few days I've been kind of putting things together and kind of figuring out my ideas. So as you guys know, I've been wanting to do some more like botanical, nature-y type things. I purchased the Nature Diary books, and I knew I had this. This was in my big tag thing where I have had all my tags lined up. I've had that little, it's actually either like a jewelry or like utensil organizer, and I have all my tags like stacked up and lined up in in the thing. And I believe my mom gave me this, but it's possible it's from the swap. Anyway, so I knew I was going to grab this, and then I went out to my yard, and I still have a couple more rounds of flowers, but these are the only ones that were dry. And I just pulled some flowers from the weeds in my yard. I live in a rural area, so I don't have like a, you know, grass from the suburbs where someone has built a home and then rolled out sod in a specific type or seeded it with specific Bermuda. It's just the natural, you know, grass that was growing there. And so it's got a lot of weeds, but there was a lot of different flowers. Some of them came out really cute. Some of them are just kind of, but some of them will be part of the background. So anyway, I took, this is the first round of them. And, oh, by the way, about 4 days ago, my honeysuckles came in. If you guys ever saw one of my first videos, it's the face-to-face video, the introduction of me. I think it was done in about 2016, but basically all I did was set my camera, or my phone, up on the hood of my car, and I was facing like the side of my property, so you couldn't see the road and people won't find out where I live. But anyway, the whole side of my yard is lined with honeysuckle bushes and flowers. So anyway, they came in, I pulled a couple, and those are drying. And I have, well, I'll just tell you now, it doesn't matter. I also pulled a few strips of, or little fronds from some an evergreen that started growing along my fence line. I believe it's a cedar. Just, I don't know where it came from, some seed, and it landed in, and has started growing a little bush. I also pulled some, what look like wheat, but they're not. They are just different little seed pods from different weeds. And those are drying as well. I have parchment paper in this certain, and I, you know, put everything in between parchment paper in a book. Oh, I want to say, on Pinterest, I saw Wendy's Journal Adventure, or Wendy's Journaling Adventure. She is doing something with flowers, something. I saw the thumbnail. She's sitting at her desk with her sewing machine in front of her, and there's like a little clear thing with the flower in it. So I saw that, so I wanted to give her a shout out. If I know someone's doing something like me, even if I didn't get the idea from them, I feel like I should just say it. Why not give someone a shout out anyway? I mean, I know I have a small channel, but whatever. So anyway, I've been putting those together. And I also want to do some of these. I want to kind of cut around, obviously not cut into where it's bubbled up, but, and then punch a tiny hole with my tiny hole puncher and hang some of these as little dangles. Then I also went through and I wanted to do some more like fairy kind of woodlandy kind of things. So I went into my yard and I pulled, well, not pulled, I actually found these on the ground, a few different sticks and random things, and I used different type of natural looking thread, yarn, straw, whatever you could think of, and made some beads or things that you could hang from a bookmark for the to go. You could make 1, 3, 5 bookmarks for your junk journal and have, you know, a dangle at the bottom. You could, of course, hang them from the little safety pins. You can hang them from paper clips. That's been done a million times, hanging beads or, you know, attachments, some sort of dangly decoration. So anyway, I did those, and I also made these. And these are little, like, bird's nest looking things. I made them with, I cut some of the pearls. This one has 1 and this one has 3 from those little fronds, those little like faux flower pearl fronds that I got at the thrift store, and I think I gave some away in my secret word envelopes. But anyway, I thought these were kind of cool, and these will make some really unique and different little embellishments. I have a couple more sticks left to do. Anyway, then I picked up some acorns, and these were just the caps. So I was like, ooh, I could put some really cool beads in here. And I want to find, I know I have a pearl that's like a nude color pearl bead, and I think that would look really cool in here, and then to make this a charm. So I pulled out all of my like junk jewelry and beads. You guys know when I first came back, it was not my first video, but one of the first few videos I did, I showed specifically this bag of jewelry. These are the 2 like actual earring sets that I got that I will be putting in my Depop shop. But these are the individual pieces of jewelry that, you know, were broken, like the other piece was broken or the other earring was missing, that I got to just make charms and things out of it. This is a real pearl pin, a little brooch. It's a real mother of pearl little fishy. But anyway, I got these months ago, but I can't remember what video it was in that I showed you guys this specific bag, because the whole video wasn't about, you know, thrifting jewelry and stuff. There's another bag I brought in here of things I got at that same thrift store. And they're just little things. There's a little piece, I think there's 2 pieces in there, of this like tiny watch chain. There's this tiny little pearl that looks like, you know, a real high quality, even though it's not. And just some other really cool things. So, I used to do a lot of jewelry making. I have a whole box of, was this? Oh, I also got this at the thrift store. These are like faux little coins and little buttons, and there's this tiny little bird, and I cut the post off. I think it was just a single stud earring, but it could have been a pin. But anyway, I used to do a lot of jewelry, specifically junk jewelry, and I know I've shown this to you all before, long ago, before I took my little break. Oh, come off. Okay. But I made this necklace when I was 19 years old, and it is just kind of a metal collage that I made. This is a real vintage Chanel button. There is a the back of a tiny watch, some watch pieces, a little key, some bling. The heart was actually this shaped bracelet, like each one was like a rounded leaf, and then the back of the leaf had a loop on it, and it was connected to the other one. And I took it apart, hammered it flat, and then I added this little fake coin to it. And it's just on some filigree. I used to do that with my mom. My mom made me this necklace, and I'm gonna have to replace one of the buttons because it fell off. She made me this really pretty necklace, I think for my birthday or Christmas, with some actual vintage buttons. And she had a little shop, and this was like one of the mistake things, and so she just gave it to me. But these are real mother of pearl shell pieces that make up the little flower, but it just went on there kind of crooked, so she gave it to me. I have one more little dangle that I got from the thrift store. How cool is that? That's like a real mother of pearl inlay. And let's see. Oh, the other botanical thing. I did this. This was one of the first things I did. I got this the same day that I pulled these flowers. So, I wanted to do the little dandelion seeds. And I made them in a flexible plastic so that they wouldn't flatten out and they can kind of move around. And all I did was put them in the bag and seal the edges. And I put this was a frame that I already had over it. And I took another piece of paper and, you know, kind of cut it close, sandwiched them together. And then once it was all sealed and dried, I went around the edges to make it perfect. And what I want to do with this is have this almost like hang down in the journal, like be on a piece of fabric, like loose, so it can be moved around. Like say it was attached here on a piece of fabric. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. These are just dandelion fluff seeds in here. So I did that. It got bent by my dog stepping on it, of course. But that's the first one that I did. I will show you. So I'm not going to go through this box because it's a mess. I have a box of, there's junk jewelry mostly at the bottom, but all of these at the top are vintage buttons. So I have all of my vintage buttons and my junk jewelry in here, and then I have like a picnic basket, like a real picnic basket with a lid. That's where I keep the rest of all my jewelry stuff. But I keep, you know, the vintage buttons and things in here. Oops, jeez, sorry. I even have like some buckles, mother of pearl buckles. Some of these are worth actually a lot of money. I should probably go through and do some more research. Oh, I'll go ahead and show you. Hold on just a sec. Okay, so I had this bag of miscellaneous things that I got at an estate sale with my friend Carrie before I started my channel. And there's some old game pieces, some vintage marbles, and old dice. And then there's these random, these are literally all just different pieces of metal. These specifically aren't coins or anything, but there was some cool stuff in here. In there was also these 4 things. And some of these are from World War II. These 2 specifically. These are sales tax coins from Utah, and this one's from Oklahoma, where I live. This one is for old age assistance. 1 sales tax coin. This one obviously does not appear as old. This is a $5 million grand prize Reader's Digest coin. And then a Nickelock toilet token. I guess before, like, if there was like busy places, you had to like go to the counter and buy a token to use the bathroom. You know, like you would use a token to play a game. I don't know. But anyway, those were also in there. And so I kind of want to combine these 2 styles and add, you know, some, like maybe a little coin hanging off of here, or if I do 2 different pieces on a long thing in between would be like a bead or a metal piece. And I'm calling it Post-Apocalyptic Hippie. I think the combination of the 2 is going to look really, really cool. As you can see all around them, there is no tying of knots. It's all cleanly wrapped. Every single one of them. This is the only one you can even tell where the end is. And I did them. Let's see. I gave most of these away, but there's a couple of my tassels that I made a while ago. A long, long time ago. In fact, I looked on my Instagram, I think it was in 2015. But anyway, I did a whole video on making my tassels. It's also one of the top videos. And of course, I did a recent video including using junk jewelry and things to make junk journal charms. So, can we guess who did the video on these things? It's never ending. But anyway, I did the ends the same way. Basically what I did, it's going to get copied anyway, I might as well tell you how to do it. I just took PVA glue and put a drop just on the rope on the end, and then went in a circle with my fingers. Make sure your hands are clean, because even if you like wash your hands beforehand, if you have any sort of dead skin, anything, it's going to get stuck in the glue, and that's nasty. Especially if you're going to go back and do tassels. These will show any sort of altered color, you know, discoloration, if you will. So that's all I did. I took some regular PVA glue, just school glue, and put it, you know, on the end, like I would put it right where the piece of string ended, and I would start wrapping, just going around. After it was all wrapped around, I put the glue on and I just started rubbing it, and I kept it going in a circle. If I felt it wasn't really tight enough, and I'd add a little more glue. But yeah, so this is what I have been doing behind the scenes, and I think, you know, a lot of these are going to turn out really cool. Don't you think this will look cool? I do like this bead. But don't you think these would look cool with matching like nude color pearls in them? I don't know. I was also thinking if I could do like I don't know how to describe it. Well, if I were to get a bead like this and just glue it in there, and then take tiny little watch pieces around it and make like a steampunk kind of style. Let me show you. I still have this whole bag of watch pieces, and all of this I took apart myself. There's a couple things I'm going to do that I'm not showing yet, because I mean, someone's probably done it, I don't know. But I know watch pieces have been done before, so I don't care about that. In some form or fashion, yes, because using old watch parts and stuff is very popular in like steampunk and altered art. I don't have anyone to give a shout out to for that. If I think of someone or find someone after I post the video, I will give their name in the description. I also pulled out, so I have this single box, and I think this was sent in the swap, and they sent it because I actually have a collection. I need to get the box of that I have collected these, you know, like semi-precious stones since I was little. You know, like when you go on vacation or go to any sort of tourist place, they will have those little bags, and you can fill it up with, pick out all the different rocks. That's what I would always pick as my souvenir growing up. So I put these that were sent, I believe, in the swap, or around that time. Someone, it may have been Happy Mail direct to me, but I put this in with my crafting stuff, because this, I think, will also make some really cool additions. Obviously, I do have wire in different types. I have tons. Hold on just a second. Sorry. I have plenty of, you know, like jewelry findings and things like that, because before, so I did sort of like paper crafting and stuff when I was in high school, and I never got super into it, so, you know, I didn't have much of it. But then in high school, I got really into jewelry, and I kept doing that even up until, well, Pat and I were together. For, I think it was Mother's Day, I made his mom this really cool, she likes owls. I gave her a store-bought owl necklace, and then I also made her this really cool kind of collage-y thing with an owl, and then like up the chain, like every few links, there was like a cool little, you know, thing charm. Anyway, so that is kind of what I want to start adding to our journal. You know, when I make, when we do our like little envelopes and things like that, I don't want these necessarily glued into the book. I want them like clipped in or things like that. And we can use, you know, clips with little things like this hanging off so it doesn't look so, you know, new. And hold on, this is jiggling. Give me a moment. Is that better? Okay, so it doesn't look so like new and clean, and it looks more natural. But yeah, I don't know. I thought these, what I did, I'll just tell you, jute twine, when you untwist it and like run your finger down it, it will ball up like hair. And so I took just a section of it and I would go down, take some off, roll it up, and get it the size I wanted to put on the little charms. And this is actually tiny pieces of real moss-like ground cover, but it's not a moss. It actually has teeny, teeny, tiny little leaves. And I harvested some, and I have some in a little glass thing I'm going to, and it survived well. It's growing. I'm just going to keep it real moist, and yeah. So I have some of that growing in my home. I think, oh, here, I have a couple pieces left. This is my little work board. Ugh, let's see if I can get in here. There's a couple of these little moss pieces left. These are my remaining sticks, and I dyed some jute, and I'm going to be using that for something else. So, yep, none of this is, I didn't go out and buy anything new. This was all stuff that I had, and the sticks and things like that, I just went out to my yard, and the flowers are weeds. You know, you don't need, obviously this looks really, really pretty, and it's nice, you know, really fancy flowers, but if you want it to look more natural and handmade, just going and, you know, getting what you have will look great too. So this, again, yeah, just one of the Dollar Tree laminating sheets that I shared. Oh, this is what. So I want to make a little scene inside this little watch face. A little tiny scene, and use this itself as a little charm. I think that's going to be so cool. What do you guys think? I was trying to, I wanted like a little window, and I have these watches left that I got at a estate sale again a long time ago, but I don't want to, you know, start taking more watches apart. I don't need to at the moment, so I have these too if it's necessary, if I need them for something. And I want to start incorporating, I love, love, love when you just put a little vintage button on a safety pin, and it's just like simple, and clip it into a piece of fabric. I love, love, love how that looks. I don't know why. I know it's really basic, but I just think that looks so pretty. So these, they weren't in my craft room, they were in my living room, because that's down up under a shelf, because that's where I did most of my crafting. And this, you know, using vintage buttons and jewelry and stuff was my main thing. I've got some really cool different types. These are like the pin back. These have a raised back on them. These have the large holes. The buckles. There's some miscellaneous like new shapes in here. These are more like beads. And yeah, there are, oh, these little glass beads are on like a little post and a circle. So there's a bunch of different types in here. I also have a couple bags as well. One giant bag that I will show you. These are all black. And I believe I got these at... I think I got these at an estate sale or something too. You know I'm a bargain hunter. I know I got a jar, a small jar of buttons for like $5 at one point. So that probably is where some of those came from. I also have these, which aren't vintage, but are really cool. And if you don't want to invest in vintage stuff or use vintage things for crafting, these, I believe you could you could order these from a bead store. These are real mother of pearl little buttons, but they aren't vintage, so you're not like destroying an old piece of artwork, you know? So yeah. But I wanted to show you kind of what I've been working on, show you some new ideas, and what do you guys think? Do you like... In general, if I'm doing like just a regular kind of grungy junk journal, I don't want a lot of like beads and sparkly stuff hanging off. I know people used to do that a lot. They used to, when you would like bind the book on the spine, people would have like a bundle at the top of lots of like ribbon. Oh, I'll show you. Hold on. This is my tassel bag or little embroidered. I don't know if I made that or someone gave that to me. That little embroidered shape. I used to do a lot of, you know, embroidered trims and stuff. I showed you guys that. But this giant, beautiful, fluffy, this is by Amber. I think there's even another one. Is there? Maybe not. No, I think this is it. The big, fluffy tassels and bundles like this. This is what I'm talking about when people used to do kind of like up on the top of the spine of their junk journal. And then they'd have like paper clips with like little really sparkly beads and things hanging off of it. I didn't like that. I like this. I like stuff like this if you're doing a planner or things like that. But if you're trying to make something look grungy or old, then I just don't like that look with it. But if you're doing a more, you know, bright or fun, or even like a shabby chic or a country chic sort of vibe, I think those would be cute to add. I was trying to see if I had any more of my own tassels in here that I made. I think I gave them all away, honestly. Yeah, I gave them all away. Oh well, that's okay. I'm glad people have them and they're enjoying them, so. Anne, hold on. What do you guys think? Do you like this idea? Do you not like stuff hanging out on the sides of your junk journal? Do you not like, you know, random things floating around in your journal? I don't want to have like a little hole punch or something, I don't think. The only way I was wanting to have things hole punched is with an eyelet, like a metal eyelet, not just a paper hole reinforcer. And I don't have an eyelet setter. I think I'm going to order one from AliExpress because they're really cheap. They're like $6. But if it's going to be hanging down and things like that, if it's paper, I just feel like it will rip and it just doesn't look as good without an eyelet. So what I wanted to do was to maybe like sew a strip of fabric onto this, and then it would be able to be, you know, be able to easily be moved, and it would be like this cool little floating, I don't know, I just thought this was a really cool idea. Maybe someone's done it before, I don't know. But I also didn't want to use like very stiff or rigid plastic that would just keep them kind of like smashed in there, because I wanted them to stay as like fluffy and movable as possible. because that's really what's cool about them. Otherwise, they're just some little seeds. But like I said, I have some evergreen fronds, and I have some wheat-looking little fronds to make some cool embellishments out of as well. And those I might set up to make in little strips. Oh, I knew I had one more thing. I have some greenery by my door. There's 2 little baskets that sit like this on the wall. And I'm such an ape. I cut the ends off of a couple of them. This one I kept on the little plastic things, but these look kind of like fern leaves. So I cut those out, and then I cut a little length of these, and they have this like peach nudie undertone. So I thought these would be cool too, because I don't have, you know, freaking ferns in my backyard. And I think for the whole like woodlandy fairy vibe, ferns would be like, I don't know, I think that would be super cool. So, oh, I said that. Wendy's Journal Adventure was making a tag, or maybe something, not with the frame, but a square or a tag with flowers. It was a big pink or red. I remember, I can like picture the thumbnail in my head. She's sitting at her sewing machine, and there's a little plastic thing in front of her. So yeah, Wendy's Journal Adventure, or Wendy's Journaling Adventure, was shared on Pinterest, her YouTube video. I didn't click on it because I'm still not watching the crafty videos to see what else goes on, but yeah. So yeah. Do you guys like this sort of idea? I wanted to kind of show all of these in one, because if you like more of the strictly paper things and this is a little much, I won't continue on with it, because I know sometimes it's like you want to do everything, but you don't want to go out and buy everything at once. All of this stuff I have collected over the past 15 years, literally, and a lot of it, and I do mean a whole lot of it, was hand-me-downs from my mom. She has a 3-bedroom house with a living room and like a little den dining room area and a kitchen. 2 of her rooms, one is all like a fabric sewing crafting room, ribbons, trims, fabric. The other one is paper and then like metal and jewelry crafting stuff. If you could see some of the stuff my mom makes, it's incredible. And oh, guess what? Have you guys ever seen where someone made it look like a pea pod? And there was like a piece of like tin wrapped around it with little pearls in the middle? Guess what? My mom did that 11 years ago. I'm telling you. I told her she should have gotten it trademarked. And even when she did it, I was like, you have to get that. Like, I couldn't trademark a stick wrapped in straw. But you can trademark the design. So if the way it's done and the materials used, you can trademark for crafting things. I was doing a little research on craft copying. So anyway, but she didn't. Because I really think she didn't use a computer. My mom did not get a cell phone. I'm not exaggerating. My mom did not get a cell phone till I was about 19, about 10 years ago. And no, it was after that, because it wasn't till she moved. I was about 20, so about 9 years ago, she got a cell phone. So she wasn't like on the internet, you know, gathering ideas from people or whatever. My mom isn't, I'm not just saying that because she's my mom. She is an absolute genius. She's incredibly intelligent, and she can make anything. When she moved into her new house, she just like looked at the window and got a little book out, kind of drew something. She has like those cool like 3-tiered looking like really nice beautiful drapes that she just drew up and designed. She's reupholstered our couch 3 times. I reupholstered another couch twice, like our main couch that we've had since I was a little kid. And then the second one, which she actually got from the side of the road and just stripped it all down, replaced the batting, which is the foam, and then used the fabric that was there as a pattern, to make a pattern, and redid it. She made me my first clothing. She made me a dress for my first day of school in kindergarten. It has pigs flying on it. It was a cute little dress with pigs flying, and it was like, you know, like a blue sky with the pigs, and then it had like yellow trim on it. So cute. And yeah, drawing. She's an incredible artist. When she was still teaching, the art teacher used to sell these like black and white pencil drawings, and he was pretty well known. You know, people really liked him. And my mom, one of her like teacher friends, was like, oh, I saw that, I want to do it. My mom was like, I'll do one for you. And she did. It's not like she went out and like advertised and was trying to go behind him. Her friend just asked for one, and hers was so much better. The teacher friend went and showed people, and then they started asking my mom to do it. I'm telling you, she can do everything. It's unfair that she's creatively smart and intellectually smart. But yeah. So a lot of this I got from my mom. I know that you guys probably don't want to have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. What I would say, any must-have to make this, these are nothing. If you have any sort of embroidery floss, string, anything you have at your house, even if it's stark white, get one tea bag, dunk it in there, and get some sticks from your yard, and you could make things like this. And you don't have to buy the metal jump rings to put on here to attach it. You could put this piece, the loop, straight onto your paper clip. You don't need to buy anything like that. Junk journals and watch pieces, broken watches and stuff, they will have bags at the thrift store. Don't look for like those fancy, jewelry jars, because those are expensive, and that's like a thing in the jewelry world. People buy like jars of jewelry to like go through and find and resell it that are not broken jewelry, but real nice pieces of jewelry. So anyway, look for the junk jewelry or broken jewelry, and that's really cheap. You can find, you know, a little bag of it or something. Get one watch and you'll get a ton of watch pieces out of it. And then, you know, a couple little broken pieces, and you could make a ton of stuff. So, you know, if this is something you'd like to try, you don't need to go out and spend a lot of money. I would say, you know, in total, if you went and bought, like, at Walmart, they have the little jump rings for the 98-cent packs, and then went to the thrift store and bought, like, a $1 broken watch and a $3 bag of junk jewelry, and you'd be set to go. I have little, like, mini little metal tools, and I got those, not metal tools, just like smaller tools. Yeah, just like little pliers or a little wire cutter, and they're smaller, and those were $9.99 at Michael's, but I got them either 40 off or whatever, and oftentimes they'll have a 60% off, and it was like a 4 or 5 piece set. So you would have your little pliers, the pliers that have the round ends, so you could make the circles. Like, if you, for instance, didn't have an actual jump ring, you could take a piece of wire and one of those circle pliers and make your own. And this wire is from Walmart, and I bought it actually because it was on clearance. It was on sale for like 50% off or more. It was, I mean, it was really cheap. So, and it was copper wire, which is usually more expensive. So I grabbed it. Keep on the lookout. If this is something you want to do just to sort of go with your junk journals and, you know, add charms and things like that, don't go crazy. You could literally get a whole kit, like I said, with your tools, with everything that you could need to make 25 new pieces. And that way you could see if you like it, and you could do all that for well under $10 if you're, you know, careful about it. So, yeah. I really like this idea. I want to, you know, do a few more little things like this, more 3D work, if you will, to add bits and sort of like mix it up, keep it fun. It's always something, you know. I'll think, like, I don't hate it. It had to be done. I had to dry the flowers for a few weeks, but I mean, yeah. It's like, I wish if I'm going to show something, I want to show from now on what I'm doing with it and something that I've made with it, so that it's, yeah, and not just, you know, throw out ideas there and then have them done by someone else before I can even try my own idea out. So, yeah. Do you guys like these? Do you like it? Really? Do you like it? How do you also feel about using vintage, like, buttons and things? I used to be completely, like, I hated actually, like, gluing them down. Like, if you hang them off of something, that can be reused a million times. But once you glue something down, it's, you know, there. You've ruined it, damaged it. Oh, my mom also, there was a lady from Germany. She actually, I don't know if she bought the property or she just happened to go there and dug up an old World War II. It was a doll factory, and in World War II, they shut it down and used it to make, you know, munitions or whatever. It was from Dresden, Germany, I remember. They were little penny dolls, and they're like these little porcelain dolls. I have a necklace or a charm from it. Let me show you. Okay. I keep my necklaces in this box that my mom made me, and the purpose of which is because I only have like one silver chain, one gold chain, one, and then I have all my different charms, and I don't have to store, you know, a million chains. I just, whoops, figure out which color of chain I want to wear, and below it I have all of the charms that coordinate with that chain color. This is one of the tiniest ones, and she was going to throw this away, and I saved it because the patina in it turned it, she said that the blue was too dark. And it is pretty dark because it kind of hides all the cool little watch pieces and stuff, but it's still a really cool necklace piece. So I kept it. Where? These are some of the pieces I got at the thrift store. I was looking for these. These Jaguar earrings. I got some cute Betsy Johnson ones. Anyway, oh, here's a Frozen Charlotte. Frozen Charlotte. Yep. She made that as well. Oh, look at this. I went to Jamaica in the spring of 2000, let's see, 7, 8, 08, 09, the spring of 09, I believe. And I brought back some shells, and my mom made me these little scenes and, you know, necklace pieces out of some of the broken shells or the full shells with some resin in it. Isn't that awesome? That's what I'm telling you. My mom is a freaking genius. She can just look at something and make it. And that's what I tell everyone. If there's something that you want to make or a certain type of thing, pull out the components or things you would want to make with it or to make it out of, and just start, you know, kind of placing them and putting them together. That's how I do my stuff. I am no genius, no creative master by any stretch of the imagination. I am not particularly, you know, good at anything specific. I am a master of all trades, or I'm sorry, a jack of all trades and master of none, as they say. Look at these cute little charms. I used to make things like this all the time. Little beads to hang off of. Necklaces is what I made them for. Some of these are just, oh, look at this. I love this bird, this vintage bird piece. There was one that is my favorite, little double charm. No, that's not it, but I like this one too. This is one of them because I love the color of the flower. That was from junk jewelry that I made. Oh, I love this one. It's got 2 flowers and this little like carved glass bead. How pretty is that? Oh, there's just a little tree. Man, I cannot find that one. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of those in here that I've made in different, you know, in different ways. Yeah, I love these. Oh, here's my little edgelord one. So edgy, Haley. You're just so cool. I'm such a cornball. Pretty cool, though. Look, I put one of those shells on a charm. Alright, I could go through this all day. I'm sure you guys are so very sick of it. Oh, look at the little hand. I love this one. If you have watched this all the way through, write the word gorilla in the comments and I will send you a package. A little envelope. Oh, I think this was it. This was one of my favorites. Right now I have one that is going out to Double Click Connect. It's a vintage piece. Carrie V, she participated in the swap actually, and I had recently posted something new on Instagram just because a lot of people watched me from Instagram and I just hadn't posted since I've been back. So I wanted to do that. I have sterling silver pieces. This isn't sterling. I don't know why that's over there. I think I meant to put it with the gold. But I have sterling silver pieces and then just silver toned pieces. Some are really random, like cool things that I just like. I used to try to be cool. I failed miserably. I'm sure you all could tell if you watched me for more than 5 minutes. Okay, this is something my mom made. Look at that. How pretty is that? Oh, wait, it's this way, isn't it? I don't know which way it is. But I love this piece. That's real turquoise. Oh, oh, oh! There's another little metal collage I did on... This was a piece of junk jewelry as well. I think it was an old earring. And I just did that on it. I think that's all of the pieces that I did, though, from out here. This is like a little scarab beetle thing. Okay, well, I'm sure you guys are beyond sick of this. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you all my different little charms and things while I had you here. Hold on. I'll go ahead and show you this. I had started collecting little things for one of those altered art, like little matchboxes where you just put little random things, fun things in it. And this is an old cigar box that I got at a garage sale forever ago. But what I wanted to show you in here is my favorite buttons. These two... Yep, these two were in the bag of vintage buttons that Christy Lindsay sent during the swap. And they are like my favorite little vintage glass buttons. And these, I believe these are porcelain little flowers that go in here. And then I don't have a ton of stuff in here. It was just a few things that I had saved. My friend Caitlin sent me those pieces. This is a vintage button, very old, but it's squished. So... little lamb, there's a bird and a leaf and an apple. And those are from Planner Things. And yeah, I have other rosettes and stuff in my 3D embellishment area. You know, other buttons and stuff in here. These little bits I got at the thrift store. So now, the end of another video of just going through a mess of stuff. But... yeah, I really had fun making these, and I don't know, I think it'll be fun to start adding, because all of these, even all of those little beaded charms I showed you, in a more shabby chic, but not in a really vintage one, but in a more shabby chic one, or a really brightly colored one, those would be really cute hanging off of paper clips as well. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I will put this video together and get it out. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye!